Morning guys, right, I just thought I'd update you with where we're at with the pop-ups. Now last night I glugged these about, I'd say 3 times. Now it is an heavy glug, so in a normal situation, with it being an oily kind of a glug, which they're all made up of, all these goos and glugs, they're all made up of that. I can make a water-based one, but they're never as effective. But let's not forget it's only an upbait as well. So what I do is, now it's about drying them out, and I dry them out for about 3 to 4 days, depending on when I'm using them. I think I may be going Saturday, so if I'm going Saturday, well, I'm going to be getting chucked out there. I know it's the main reason that I add coke to them, is coke dust to them as well as mix, is because I want them pop-ups to be as buoyant as possible, but as attractive as possible, obviously for the fish. Now the amount of black pepper, if you were to buy it, you get it's really peachy, nice sweet flavour. It tastes lovely, but then you get a punch of hotness from the black pepper, which is, now that black pepper has infused into the oil, Jamie Oliver style this, so it's infused into the oil. And then when you put it onto the boilers obviously, every time they dry out, they pull it in, and then you re-glug them, they pull it in again, they dry out, and it continues in that way. Now this is the last glug that these will have, but then they will dry out. But the stuff that's on the outside of this, the black pepper on the outside of them, because the glugs are made, they're really sticky, which I do that on purpose, because I don't want that black pepper falling off, which it will, some of it will, but majority of it will stick to the bait because of the glug that I used. So by doing that, I'm getting a far more, it's that black pepper I want. I've noticed that carp really do like spicy things, and it's just through years of watching them and feeding them on different stuff. It's like you would be amazed on the slight difference that 15ml of one liquid can make if you reduce it down to 7. It's incredible, honestly. I do think some carp baits can become carp deterrents, and it's the reason now that I'm lowering my levels in my bait, and I started doing that from about last August, and results just speak for themselves, really. You know what I mean? I did last year I did 3 overnighters on treating, and that was one 48 hours when I very first joined, and then I set out to do a 48, ended up coming back after 24, and then I did a 24-hour with Richard and our Joel. So that's 3 sessions overnighters, which ain't bad to say the amount of fish I had. The rest of them come through the day. Nearly all the fish come through the day when I fish treating last year, and that I put that down to lowering the levels of attraction in my bait. It was lowered, so it's I've got because I was baiting with bait that was it was rolled before I started lowering the levels, so the levels were higher in it. So I was feeding that with purposely I have feeding higher leveled baits, rolled attraction wise, with this in mind, that if anyone dropped into that swim just after I'd baited up, more than likely the fish would not be, it's very unlikely they're going to fish the spots that I was fishing anyway, because I doubt it very much. Take my word for it. They're as big as this sink. Nearly all 3 spots were as big as that sink. Now that's not to say I weren't baiting bigger areas than that sink. I was baiting areas probably the size of a table tennis, table tennis table. I was baiting areas of that size, but I weren't putting boilies in like 5 or 6 and putting them out with catapult. I was putting them out with catapult singly. It was too close in to use a throwing stick. Well, 2 of the rods I was using a throwing stick, and on the other rod I was using a catapult, putting them out singly to spread them. I'm a great believer that you need to get them carp moving. It's the reason that if I use a PVA bag, it's really a small bag. It's very small. I don't like using solids. I've used them before, and I've had no benefits from using them unless it's you've got blanket weed, and PVA bag will sit in it, push that weed down, it'll expand, that'll also push weed down. But it's nothing to do with that PVA bag, it's all to do with a presentation about the bait is being seen by the carp. I do not believe that it's that PVA bag that's getting that bite quicker, it's about that bait is being seen by them carp, which you can do on an hinge rig, on an helicopter rotary system. So that's all I do, and then I feed baits over the top. The carp will find them. If boilers go through that weed and then the weed goes over the top of them, the bait I roll, the carp will find them, I guarantee it. So what we're doing with these is this lighter than that in colour, but they've gone to that colour, and I'm really happy with that colour now. So that's 3 glugs for myself as a memory thing, so I glugged them 3 times to get that orange. But I'm really happy with them, so they're going to be getting, that's the bait for next season for me down there, that and banana. So, and then we've got one here now that's really, I was looking for something a bit special as a bait for next season, for a venue I'm going on that I fished a lot before in past, but I've walked around it quite a bit just over the last few weeks, and every single angler that I've come across is using either sticky baits, a bloodworm, or sticky baits krill. So you don't have to be a genius to work out what I'm rolling. It's took me a while to find. I keep ordering. I mean, I've got inside my bait boxes down there, I have got so many liquids, it's unbelievable, honestly. And so some of them I only open them, look at the inside of it, look at it through a scope. If it looks shite, lid goes on it and it goes in cupboard. And all I use it for then is for glugging baits, put it on top of bait and put it out just for extra attraction. Really, it's just to use it up and never ever buy it again. Now I've come across a company that do it's a pure bloodworm liquid. It is absolutely pucker. It's that thick. I tried pouring it out of the bottle and it wouldn't come out of the bottle. Nah, I shook the bottle a bit, and I eventually did it by waiting ages, and eventually got the measurement I wanted. But it took me a bloody while to do that, you know what I mean? It was really thick, which is a great news. I've had a look at it through a macro lens, and it's absolutely thick in bloodworm. So, and the other one is a krill liquid. Now I've got a couple of krill liquids. I've got one that I really like, but the one that I've just got is on a different level altogether. It is really nice. It's it's again really thick, and it is a 99.9% of its makeup is krill, which that sounds really funny if you're just new into fishing, or you don't know much about bait. Then that may sound really funny to you. You may be thinking, what do you mean 99.9%? Krill's krill, bloodworm's bloodworm. Take my word for it, it isn't at all. It's, with a majority of companies, you're getting a very low percentage of bloodworm and a very high percentage of either water or vegetable glycerin or one of the other things to make it into a thicker glug. That's all this is, I'm telling you now, honestly. That is all this is. So be very wary of that when you're out there. If you can, order the bloodworm yourself frozen from a tropical or a freshwater supplier that will give you fresh bloodworm packaged and frozen. It ain't cheap, but take my word for it, if you get it like that, it opens so many doors to what you can do with that bloodworm. If you've got it in that concentrated, it's purish form, it actually is when it's on the lake bed. It's been took out and then it's been frozen, so you've got it in its purish form. So it's pretty easy for you then to make that into a liquid that is really high in bloodworm. Now I found a supplier for it, and it's took me a very long time. It's took me about over 3 years to find one I'm happy with. There's a lot of good ones out there that you could use, but there were never one that I was 100% happy with. This I'm happy with. So what I've done is I've mixed the two. the krill and bloodworm. But I love bloodworm. I've always loved bloodworm. I used to fish with it, bloodworm when sticky baits. Used to do sticky baits, bloodworm pop-ups, and it's kind of, that kind of phase has gone now, which I don't understand. Bloodworm's a natural. It's a natural living. They're naturally living in lakes and pits, so I don't understand it. You know what I mean? Bloodworm is a really, it's one of the highest things on any fisher's mind, is to find a bloodworm bed, because if you can find a bloodworm bed, the nutritional value in it it's unbelievable, and carp love bloodworm. Now, the krill, I didn't know whether to add the krill as a krill bait, or I didn't. I thought, shall I add the two and then I thought, just add the two together. They're both really high food value, and they've both got really nice attraction levels in it. So what I did is I've halved the levels of their bloodworm of the krill to what I normally put in of the other, because it is more concentrated. Now the bloodworm, I've added the normal levels that I added with the other, plain and simple, because I want them the bloodworm levels to be really high. It is a natural feed for the carp. You can't overdo it with it. Not when it's in its purity. When it's bloodworm, as in bloodworm, it's got no other shit in it. You can't overdo it with it. I'm telling you now, honestly. You could get a wheelie bin full of it and just pour it all into your swim, and all it's going to do is every fishing lay is going to be heading for your swim. They absolutely love the stuff. So what I've done is I've mixed the two of them, and that's given me this, which I would really like for Paul, because he was saying he wanted something new to try, but he did say he wanted a sweet bait. You see the big piece of the krill in that, guys? There, look, big piece of the krill in it, unbelievable. I mean, look at that. That is thick. So I'm really happy with that. Absolutely, really am. So all I'm saying is, yeah, like I said, I was looking for the bait for Paul, but he likes nutty, creamy baits. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to go with a few baits I've got up my sleeve that I'm going to do. And I'm going to do one just for a creamy bait, just for Paul. Now, Paul's going to be fishing with me when weather picks up a bit. He'll be fishing with me, and he'll be doing our treating, because I'll be going for him. If he says he's going and he doesn't turn up, I will be calling for you, mate. So set my way for it. You coming fishing and treating this year, definitely. There'll only be me and you, and we'll do all right down there. I'm telling you now, pal, honestly. I'm going to do a bit of fishing with Dino, which that's going to be on another venue, like so. But I will be doing a bit of fishing with Dean. But I want to get you down on treating, and I want to get you into that. Just how beautiful it is down there, really. Do you know what I mean? It's a beautiful place to be. It really is nice. It's good for the mind, and it's good for the soul. Now, since I've been told that I've got this glaucoma, my outlook on everything has just changed unbelievably, honest to God. I want to do everything now. Everything I've always said I wanted to do, I want to do. Because eventually, I will lose my sight. I've been told that. Now, it could happen in 5 years, it could happen in 10 years, it could happen in 2 years, it could happen in 20 years. That's what they've told me. So all I can do is crack on with it, you know what I mean? I've been upset for about last week now, and I'm fed up of being upset. So I'm just fed up of it. It's what I've been doing with bait. It's just to take my mind off shit, you know what I mean? I never thought I had a problem with my eyes. So just honest to God, guys, make sure you go down and get your eyes tested. I'm telling you, honest to God, because I didn't have my eyes tested for well over 20 years. I picked these up yesterday, and you're going to be seeing me more in these. So I picked these up yesterday, and honest to God, when I put them on, it was like someone had opened the door. Give me no eyes. It was just unbelievable, like bang. Like everything was just so clear, you know what I mean? It's look a knobhead, but what can I do, you know what I mean? It's where shit happens. I'm using a few things to try and help me with it. They've given me some eye drops I got from hospital, and I've also I've been I've bought some oils that some oil that I'm using, which everything I've read upon it says it helps. So if anything's going to help save my eyes, I'm having it. I don't care what people think. I don't give two shits what anyone thinks about me. If I've read that oil from that plant helps me and it will help me see for longer, and there's medical doctors saying that it helps and it's been prescribed in the States, it was one of the main things that got it legalized was glaucoma. So I'm gonna use it. I know the guy that does it, man, and he don't mess about. He knows what he's doing. It's obviously he's doing it at home. He ain't. It's what he's doing. He shouldn't be doing. So it's but I've been using that for the past few days. It's I don't get me wrong. When I go for a toilet at night, I end up like wobbling round a bit. It's really. I've never had anything like as to do with that like as strong as that is. It's unbelievable. But it's hopefully it'll help. Fingers crossed for me there. But back onto track, because if we get off with that, it's just makes me dance. So it's a yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I roll the bait as well. It's a cocoa corn cream, which is it's it's a solely a nutty. It's got three different types of nuts in. It's got a tiger nut, and it's got a coconut, and I forgot what the other one is that's in there. I think it's peanut crumb. Now I blitzed all that on myself. I buy them all, and I blitz them myself. So it's got all them three nuts in, and then in every 2 kilo I roll it has got a tin of coconut milk in that, but not just the coconut milk, the coconut milk with coconut in. A lot of it is just thick cream, which I do love. I do love that. You know what I mean? So I do use that a lot. So that has got the coconut cream in, and then I've also been using condensed milk in it as well. But which I found out that if you add high amounts of rock salt to condensed milk, then it gives it a prolonged lifetime. Like it prolongs its life, as in a shelf life. Well, not a shelf life. None of my baits are shelf life as well, guys. Take that in now. None of my baits are shelf life. I'm telling you, they will last quite a while out of the freezer, but I ain't selling them as shelf lives because I don't want someone phoning me or getting in touch with me saying the bait's gone off. Now that's why I'm saying they are freezer baits. But if you look after them right, and when I say you look after them right, I don't mean get home, open a bag for 3 days, 4 days, but zip bag back up and think, oh, they're dry, I'll put them away. I'm talking air dry them until they are like bullets. Until when you drop one, it'll probably crack in half. That's the air drying I mean. So it's 100% dried. Now don't worry if you lose the smell a little bit. Don't worry if they don't look as attractive as they did when you very first got them off me. It's all about rehydrating. Rehydrate them in a glug and they will suck it in like a sponge and they will be back onto the normal things. It's the other reason why now I am doing glugs. And glugs are going to play a big part in this year's angling for me, because last year I did really well over the KBS one, which is krill.16 shrimp. So I will be doing a glugs this year. The glug that I've just done for the peach and black pepper, oh, it's unbelievable. It's really nice, and in water it is really good as well. It sinks like a brick, and then droplets of it will come up every so often. But then they'll come up and then they'll drop again really slow. So that's reacting in a way I really do like. Now I've had to get to that level by trial and error, and the way I've done it is by adding powders to it to get it to sink and then slowly to come back up, and then the powders make it sink again once they take on water. So we're at a good stage with the glugs. All the baits are going to have glugs. All of them are going to have glugs. They're all going to be pretty much the similar colour. Well, they're either going to be done in either say that if you were to buy a ready krill Belican one, then the glug would be a dark brown colour, but I can do them in clear as well, because I hate getting my hands all yellow and red and whatever colours of them glugs like them corded ones do to you. It messes your kit up. It makes a total mess. So if you want them in clear, I do them clear. But they're in lovely bottles. The bottles I've got, I'm really happy with. I got them off Richard, and it's really nice. You just twist the top on them and post them out, and then twist it back, and it's airtight. You're not messing about with them tops what Corda had, what come off, and it's just, I didn't like them, that shit, me. It worked. I had some lovely fish on that quarter ago when it very first come out, but I just never liked the hands being red, and then you touch your face is red, and then you get a run, you run to your rod, you grab your rod handle, it's coke, then your rod handle's bright red with an hand mark on it. I never liked that about the stuff. So it ends, they can be done in clear. I can do them here in clear. Exact same attraction, exact same everything is exact same in them to the coloured ones, apart from they ain't got food dyeing. So that's the only difference with them. Now, if you've got white baits and you're fishing with a mate and he's doing well on yellow, then if you've got a yellow glug, then it's just a matter of just adding a bit of that yellow glug to the white bait, and it'll send it yellow. You know what I mean? It's sometimes a good thing, it's sometimes a bad. But it's all glugging that I do is done at home. When I do it at home, I know for definite then it's not going to get messy and it's not going to be going all over the place. So I do all the glugging happens at home, and I will take a bottle with me inside a bag. That I know it's not going to go all over the place, and I will put a little bit on the outside that pop up before I chuck it out there. But that's about it really. But definitely watch out for the bloodworm and krill bait that I'm doing later on. It's a total different bait to KBS. Even though KBS is a krill bait, it's a totally different. The KBS is mainly it's got more shrimping than it has krill. So and the Bellicant in there, I'm convinced that it's definitely pulls. The fish love the stuff. I've took a bowl of it down with me, and I've chucked it in edge at Langworth, and the fish's reaction to it's incredible. They absolutely love the stuff. It stinks, but they love it. So it's going to be interesting. I really do think that this new bait is going to be really, really good, especially on the water that I'm thinking of. Now, I'm going to try some wafters with it as well later, because I bought a little bit of preserve that I can add to it to try it, see if it works. But I'm not holding out on that, to be perfectly honest with you. If worst comes to worst, I will fish a KBS pop up over the top of it, one of their cured baits in rock salt, and I will before I sling it out the air, I will put a glug of this krill liquid that I've got. I will put a glug of that on it before it goes out there. So that's about where it is. But I will be uploading a few pictures and that of that bait for you to see. But so far it's looking really, really good. It's looking as though it's going to be a really nice early spring bait. And spring's not far now. Not far now until we'll be back on bank, and we'll be able to. By that I mean I've not been off it. I've still fished, but it's grayling I've been catching mainly this year. I've had a couple of decent perch, but no to write home about. They've all been like pretty small really. But it's I've done all right with grayling on fly rod and trotting. And I've also had a few small chub and dace and stuff like that. Lost 2 whacking barbels on KBS as well. So it's looking good. It's looking good, guys. So I'll upload them photos later, and have a good day. Check yous later, guys.